following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 4 in the 2018 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. We are here at the Richmond International Raceway for the Virginia 65-kilometer race. 54 laps of action around this 3/4 of a mile speedway in Richmond, Virginia. And it's going to be an interesting one. Much more interesting than last weekend's race at Lime Rock. Let me tell you that. That one was a little boring, I do know. John Andrews leading every single lap there. This one will be different. I don't think we're going to have a total dominance out of one driver. But if we do, it might be our pole sitter, Daniel Bouchard. We're just going to have to see. Of course, these guys go much faster than the Turkey Hill Series drivers do. So this race is going to go by much faster than last night's race did at Richmond. And you're going to notice a huge difference. They go about 5 seconds a lap faster than the Turkey Hill Series cars, and I'm alongside Alex Bonchner, who was in that race last night. How does that change in speed just affect some of these drivers who were in last night's race and who are going to be in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race tomorrow?
It's really going to affect them a lot, just by the way the IndyCar and the stock cars are set up. If you look at the IndyCars right now, open wheel, aerodynamic chassis, open cockpits, you name it. It's completely different what we have for the Cup cars that come into this one. And I could definitely say that, you got to watch out for a lot of those Cup regulars that are running this IndyCar race tonight and even in tomorrow's Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. And I'm definitely tonight going for my main boy right there, defending series champion, Luke Rainey.
Yes, he's also the defending winner of this race. Got one of his 2 victories last season here at Richmond, the other one being the famed Indianapolis 250. So Luke Rainey knows how to get it done here at this racetrack. And speaking of championship, here's how they line up in the point standings coming into this race. Roger Ray, 104 points towards the championship. Justin Zeidel was only 6 points behind, and then a little ways behind, it's Igor Barreto, 3rd in the points, 24 behind. Davey Johnson's 26 points behind, and our pole sitter, Daniel Bouchard, 28 points behind, coming into today's event. We're here on a Thursday evening. We had the Indy Lights Series earlier today, and we also had Chick-fil-A Cup Series qualifying, and this is how they line up, starting for the Virginia 65K. Daniel Bouchard in the number 40 will start alongside Jordan Lopez in row number 1. Got Marcus Sachi alongside the number 8 of Roger Ray in row number 2. Luke Rainey, defending race winner here at Richmond, and defending series champion in the number 1 alongside Christian Master in the 21. Got Eric Monaco in the number 10, still trying to get a win in this series after coming down on the final lap at Riverside at the beginning of the season. He's alongside Bruno De Barros in the number 12. We got Max Anderson and the number 7 car of Isaac Nichols. That is the top 10 starting positions here for the Virginia 65K. Everybody's rolling off, so who do you think is going to win this race? I know you alluded to Luke Rainey, but if it's not going to be Rainey, you think maybe Daniel Bouchard will have a chance at this one?
I honestly think that if it isn't Luke Rainey, I will give my shot to Daniel Bouchard. Because since he won Phoenix, Richmond and Phoenix, you may kind of agree to disagree that they're almost the same, but, if it's not going to be Luke Rainey, it's definitely going to be Daniel Bouchard to win this one.
He's going to start alongside Jordan Lopez for this one. And one of the more entertaining races of the season here at Richmond is green in the Haas IndyCar Series. Lap 1 led by Daniel Bouchard in the number 40. How about Christian Master in the number 21? He started on the outside lane for this one, and he cleared down low to get third from Luke Rainey, so a great jump for the veteran driver there. Number 1, Luke Rainey is 4th, and Jordan Lopez files in the 5th position after starting on the outside pole. Marcus Sacchi in the 26th, trying to get to the inside of Daniel Bouchard. They're mainly single file up front, but that does not mean these guys cannot pass. Sacchi trying to get a run to the inside of Bouchard, and he might get it here on the number 40 to the inside. Lap 3 of 54. Marcus Sacchi taking the lead away from Daniel Bouchard, and Bouchard slips up there, and that gives way for Christian Master to take 2nd.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting here in this race because Daniel Bouchard lost the lead. It's really going to affect how this is going to go down. I mean, you're looking so far in 4th place. There is Luke Rainey. He's closing up the gap to what was a little bit opened up earlier. Maybe he'll even pass Bouchard for the 3rd spot, so that way he can go and do another back-to-back kind of weekend or go 2 for 2.
Yeah, Luke Rainey defending winner here at Richmond, and Bouchard almost got in. Chris Skindler, oh boy, Chris Skindler drove that car last season. I still want to call Chris Skindler the driver of that car. Christian Master in the 21. Bouchard almost got into him, and that held him up there. He almost had the pass on the 21 to take 2nd back, but was unable to do so. Now Master looking to get to the inside of Marcus Sacchi. There is Jordan Lopez rebounding after falling back at the initial start of the race. He's to the inside of Luke Rainey for the 4th position. Here comes Max Anderson in the 18. He's definitely one of the quiet drivers here, but he can get it done. We'll see if he can move his way up to the lead in this one and possibly contend for the win.
Yeah, and I'm definitely giving my personal shout out right there to Marcus Sacchi at the moment, leading this way so far. Doing really good in this race, but I'm not even going to leave out Christian Masters either. Masters is doing a good job, and, I mean, this is a good battle so far. It's almost practically going to be a 3-car battle for this race victory.
It could be more than that. We're not even completed 10 laps in this race, so a lot of these guys could close in and contend for this win. Christian Master all over the 26, trying to get to the inside. Couldn't do it there. And Bouchard will try to move to the inside of the 21 for 2nd. It might open the door for Max Anderson, and now 5th place, Igor Barreto to close in and possibly get up front. Bouchard's going to take that position back from the 21, and now he's going to close in on Marcus Sacchi. Sacchi kind of running a middle line through the corner, that's allowing Bouchard to close in on the inside.
Yeah, this is definitely getting interesting here, especially with the matchup between Igor Barreto and others. Barreto really closing down on the leaders. He already passed his teammate Luke Rainey, so this is going to be a really good battle here. I mean, I was wrong. I mean, I thought it was going to be a 3-car battle. No, it's really opening up here. We have maybe even the top 10 battling for this race win.
Yes, there goes Rainey back to the inside of Igor Barreto, and we almost saw Master get back to the inside of Bouchard. He couldn't quite do it, and they remain out front here at Richmond with Marcus Sacchi leading the field. Back in here, you see the 28 car of Justin Zeidel. He comes into this race only 6 points behind Roger Ray. Well, where he is right now, he is going to be much farther back from the lead. Right now, last in the field in the number 28. Not quite what he wanted. And this race has a very green flag look to it, unlike past seasons here. Now, last season, the first caution we got in this race was about lap 40, right when the first set of pit stops was beginning. This is going to be a one-stop race here at Richmond, but do you think we're going to go green flag until this pit stops and a caution come out when the pit stops are going on, or will the whole race stay green here at Richmond?
I don't doubt that the race is going to stay completely green here at Richmond. It's quite possible, but I don't doubt the opportunity that there would be a caution either during pit stops, before pit stops, or even after pit stops for that matter. I mean, it's very interesting the way this track is laid out, the way the drivers are racing right now. It doesn't look like they're being too aggressive to the point where they're kind of just moving up on anyone, or at least starting something close to a caution. And if we did, the closest we had was Bouchard almost getting into Master.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty clean for these guys right now, which is good. Shows the skill out of these drivers here, and with the exception of Phoenix, all the races this season have been rather calm. We had a couple incidents at Riverside, but last week's race at Lime Rock was pretty calm there. Of course, not much happened in that one. We've already seen a lot more action in this race than we did in that one, and we're not even halfway through this one with Marcus Sacchi leading the field in the 26, and Bouchard Just can't quite get around him. Now, Sachi got around him earlier on. He was able to take that lead away, but the number 40 has not been able to best the number 26 yet. Luke Rainey's moving his way through the field. Here's up the 4th now, trying to close in on Christian Master. Here comes Igor Barreto on Max Anderson. That is for the 5th position. Roger Ray back in here trying to hold on to his points lead, and you got the number 10 of Eric Monaco, the 17 of Cody Sill, who will be racing him tomorrow's Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, and Tyler O'Riddy in the 15, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting. Also, for the fact of you're looking at Luke Rainey and Igor Barreto, that's the Team Penske. I'm not going to say the entire Team Penske cavalry, but that's about half the Team Penske cavalry trying to hunt down the top 3 or top 4 and going for the lead. They might be battling in between, but they're going to go after, try and get the lead.
Yeah, those two guys, 2 of the 5 drivers for Team Penske. You also have Julius Anderson, Davey Johnson, and Bruno De Barros on that team. They are a pretty loaded team, Team Penske, but they have yet to get a victory this season. Andretti Autosport has won, I believe maybe all 3 of them. Can't remember if that 40 car was with Andretti or not. That actually is a Foyt car. So Foyt won at Phoenix. Andretti won the 2 road course races so far this season, and it's Andretti leading the field right now with Marcus Sachi. So it has been the Andretti and Foyt teams that have been the dominant guys so far this season, at least for Bouchard leading the Foyt team, but mainly Andretti. They have been doing a great job this season with all their drivers, and we see that in Marcus Sachi right now. He's led quite a few laps so far on this one, trying to hold everybody off. It's a difficult one, but he's doing a good job right now in the number 26. Now the big question is, when these pit stops begin, about lap 40 is when they're going to start. How will it shake up the field? It's all going to come down to how well these guys execute on the pit lane, and if they can execute perfectly, they might be able to take the lead away from the 26. Now we saw the leader in yesterday's race. After he came down the pit lane, he had a 2-second lead on second place. Not going to say who it was, because we got a Turkey Hill Series driver in here who doesn't know what happened yet in that race, so we're going to keep it confidential, but still, you guys saw it and you know what happened, and the same thing can be said for Marcus Sachi in the 26, but here they can close in pretty fast, and we almost saw second place close in yesterday, but it's not quite enough yesterday, but it might be enough in a situation here today. There are 4 more laps in this race than there was yesterday, so we're just going to have to see how those pit stops affect this event. Igor Barreto for 3rd on Christian Master into the inside, entering turn 3. He will attempt to take it. If he stays alongside, he's going to get it from the 21. Yeah,
this is really getting interesting here. There's a lot of the battles between the Foyts, the Andrettis. We even got Ed Carpenter and the Penske guys. But as you're looking behind you, kind of just closing in the background, there's Dale Coyne, there's a lot of others. Even looking in the back as well, or behind them, it's the number 8 with Chip Ganassi Racing. Roger Ray, he leads the points at the moment. So is it possible that, Roger Ray could win this within the round of the pit stops, depending on who's going to have the better pit stop here? Remember that, a lot with IndyCar series like F1, undercut, it's kind of, that whole strategy thing. And strategy makes key here in this race.
Yeah, tires are very important in this one. And they're going to be coming down here soon. A caution-free race up to this point has allowed us to go very fast in this one. And we're not even 13 minutes into the video. And here we are, well over halfway through this 65-kilometer race. They go pretty fast around here. Igor Barreto is pretty fast. He, along with Master and Luke Rainey, all got around Daniel Bouchard, and Bouchard fell back in the 40, back to 5th. Now Max Anderson, Roger Ray, Eric Monaco, Cody Sill, and Tyler O'Riddy are the top 10. Jordan Lopez, outside pole sitter, has fallen to 11th in the number 14. And there we go. Pit stops are beginning, and like you said, undercut. That is exactly what our leader, Marcus Sachi, is doing along with Daniel Bouchard. How about this strategy on our leader?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like I said, it was going to be a key factor, and it looks like Marcus Sachi is going to be the one to have that. But also the question is as well, how is it going to affect him kind of badly? Because while an undercut is good to try and gain track position after you make your pit stop, it also hurts you because you'll have to at least make one more stop or have older tires in this case, since it's a one-stop event. It's something like that.
These guys are really spreading it out. Had a couple guys come down the last time. Now Igor... Oh, boy. Oh, a little bit of a slow field there. Did we get a caution? Yes, we did. My goodness. It happened last year where a caution came out right when the green flag cycle of pit stops were beginning. It happened again, and Marcus Sacchi is lapped in the 26th. That's a tough break. And that is the disadvantage to trying to undercut here because it's such a short racetrack. If a caution comes out while you're on the pit lane, you're going to end up a lap down, and that's just going to do it for Marcus Sacchi. That's a tough break for the Andretti 26.
Yeah, it's quite a tough break. But it also gives those that hadn't pit yet the advantage to pit now and have a good chance at taking the win a little later on within the race.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see who the leader's going to be after this one. If I'm not mistaken, all these guys coming off the pit lane are going to be on the lead lap or on the tail end. Everyone from Adam Lewis on up will be, at least. And, yeah, we'll have to see how this all cycles through because Christian Master is our leader. He's going to come down now. I'll open the door for Davey Johnson and Bruno De Barros to close back in on the rest of the leaders. And my thought is that these guys are probably going to be on the tail end of the lead lap, so they're going to stay on the lead lap, but they're not really going to be contending for the win. Now, Marcus Sacchi's a lap down because he came down a couple laps before those leaders were still out there, and that really spread out pit cycle, really messed up a lot of guys, and only the guys on the pit lane right now, I believe, are going to have a chance at this one because they all stayed out long enough so that they did not get lapped or were on the pit lane when the caution came out. So it looks like Christian Master will win the race off, and Luke Rainey once again, I believe this is how he got in position to win last year's race here at Richmond. He stayed out longer than everybody else, and he was able to stay on the lead lap after the caution came out during those green flag pit stops. So he's going to be second on the restart. He's going to have Roger Ray alongside him here. How about Nicholas Samadio? If you want a dark horse for this one, pick this guy. One of the most experienced drivers in the field. A Daytona 500 champion over in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's also going to be in tomorrow night's race, so might want to watch for him possibly getting this win. But as everything cycles through, we are left with, let's see here, left with 13 guys on the lead lap. Everybody else a lap down, even considering the fact that they are ahead of our leaders. So Igor Barreto, Max Anderson, they were dominant guys in this race. They're going to be a lap down now. Cody Sill, the 10 car of Eric Monaco, Tyler O'Riddy, Adam Lewis, Davey Johnson in the 3, Bruno De Barros, and Marcus Sacchi in the 26, all the way down to 22nd. And Daniel Bouchard's 23rd after all that. You got the 83 of George Harvick in 24th, and then Justin Zeidel, last car in line, 13 on the lead lap, led by Christian Master. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution here in the Virginia 65K at Richmond. So back in the field here, they were coming down the pit lane, and Marty Johnson tries to come down off the outside lane, gets into Al Agassi, and that's what causes this whole thing. Gets right into the 27, not quite right into the 27 there of Ace Garcia, but Colton Yo, he hit the 9 pretty hard, but that was about it, I do believe. There really wasn't anyone behind the number 9 at this point, so that is unfortunate there for everyone who came down. Mainly Marcus Sacchi and Daniel Bouchard, who were up front in this race throughout a majority of the event. They're going to get caught a lap down because of this caution coming out at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's really going to hurt these guys because they were in good contention. They had a great chance to win, and it's all for nothing at this point because they decided to pit, and, you know, this just came up out of the blue. It wasn't planned or anything, so, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. If it's unexpected, it is what it is.
And they were trying to get that advantage by undercutting here, but there's a risk that you take when you do so, and obviously we saw what the price to be paid was for that decision.
Yeah, and just going down the pit lane, Marty Johnson just tried to go down, tried to merge in, and, you know, just got right into Al Agassi. There's really nothing you could do to stop that. No drivers without fault. You know, you just, when you're trying to get down there, trying to merge down, try to do the best you can while trying not to get a penalty. But unfortunately, in this case, it just took Marty Johnson out, and it took a lot of drivers that had the chance to be in contention out of it as well. And
yeah, there's Al Legacy, and he was the guy who ended up clipping Marty Johnson, and that was on the cooldown lap. He just lost it and spun that 20 car around. So interesting little thing there. If I'm not mistaken, however, though, Marty Johnson and Al Legacy are still on the lead lap, so this is going to be interesting. It's Christian Master leading the field in the 21. Let's see what he does on the restart here at the Richmond International Raceway. We are back here at the Richmond International Raceway. It is Christian Master leading the field. Luke Rainey, Roger Ray, Nicholas Samadillo, and Jordan Lopez. Top 5 back to racing with about 14 drivers ahead of our leader. So this is going to be a very, very interesting fight to the finish. Master stays out front. Luke Rainey trying to close in, get his second Richmond win here in the Haas IndyCar Series. And Roger Ray wants a win to hold on to his points lead here. And he's got a good chance of doing so right now. Third, nobody's kind of passing right now in this top 5, however, and it's staying single file as Master takes 10 laps to go at Richmond. See all these guys single file here, trying to find some sort of an advantage. Master has not been able to get around any of the lap traffic ahead of him, but it's not really slowing him down either. And you see him pull away here in the number 21 a little bit from Luke Rainey, but this thing is far from over. And we got ourselves 9 laps to go here in the Virginia 65K. Plenty of time for these guys to close right back in. Nicholas Samadillo is a veteran here, and he would love to get a victory here in the Haas IndyCar Series, but he slipped it up there through the corner, and Jordan Lopez might be closing in here. And there we go, Luke Rainey looking to the inside of Christian Master. He closed right back in on him, but Master's looking to put a lap car in between him and the 1. That's Justin Zeidel, about to go 2 laps down in the 28.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting here. As you can see, Zeidel going down another lap, but is Master hoping that it's going to hold up Luke Rainey? It doesn't look like it. Rainey to the inside of Zeidel. Now, can Roger Ray get around the lap car of Zeidel?
Yes, he will. So, top 3, I'll get around the 28 fairly well. Master slid it up again, and Rainey's going to close back in the number 1. I have a very, very good feeling about Luke Rainey. Just like you alluded to earlier on at the top of the broadcast, your man's Luke Rainey, defending winner here at Richmond. Same exact situation as it was last year. And he's just got to get around this 21 in these final 5 laps here at Richmond.
And this is definitely getting close to it. I mean, look at that. Daniel Bouchard, he led the race earlier. Is there going to be something where he's going to hold up Master to where he can let Luke Rainey get around Christian Master? Doesn't look like it, as it's going to be an easy pass for Christian Master.
Luke Rainey trying to draft right on the 21. The hole has opened, the pass Bouchard, but it does not look like Rainey's going to get there in time. He will. So Bouchard on the outside, letting these leaders go. Very courteous move there by the guy who was very dominant at the beginning of this race. Our pole sitter for this race. It does not look like much is going to happen here today. It's 2 laps to go for Christian Master. And he's been able to hold on to the lead this whole green flag run. Will he be able to lead the most important one? Luke Rainey, he's closing back in, though. It's going to come down to this final lap. Master overshot it just a little bit. And Luke Rainey is closing in. White flag in the Virginia 65K at Richmond.
Here goes Luke Rainey. He has one last chance to get the lead. Can he get it here? Maybe in the turn 3. It doesn't look like it through turns 3 and 4. And it looks like Christian Master is going to win here at Richmond.
Another IndyCar Series win for Christian Master. He got the win at Texas last season. Another oval win. Close but no cigar for Luke Rainey in this one. As a matter of fact, I do not believe he even led a lap in this race. So, interesting run there. But Master, he just was able to stay out long enough so that caution came out. And he's going to come home first here in the Virginia 65K. Luke Rainey, Roger Ray, Nicholas Amadio, and John Andrews, the top 5. Top 4 stayed the same the whole green flag run there near the end, so interesting there. You got a feel for Marcus Sachi and Daniel Bouchard. Bouchard finishing last in this race after starting on the pole. Not at all what he wanted, and it's kind of unfair that the guys who caused the caution ended up staying on the lead lap, while those guys who did all they could ended up finishing a lap down. That's just the way it is. They took that risk with undercutting, and it hurt them. And that's going to definitely shake the field up in the points, at least deep in the points. I'm pretty sure Roger Ray is going to still stay the points leader. Oh yeah, definitely going to be the points leader at the end of the day. So he stays ahead in the point standings, but for a lot of those other guys, like Justin Zeidel, he's going to fall way back into 28 after this unfortunate run here at Richmond.
It's quite unfortunate for the fact of that, but you can't just take away the fact of your winners here today. Christian Master, great job for him. And looking at your podium here, with Christian Master, Luke Rainey, Roger Ray, you're looking at it as Carpenter, Penske, Ganassi. Quite a interesting combination here on the podium. So it kind of just shows that some of these drivers today are looking good for future races to come, and that they just need to push harder, and they could probably get on the top step of the podium themselves.
Definitely. And the interesting thing, remember, right at the start of the race, Christian Master started on the outside. He cut right to the inside and beat Luke Rainey right there at the start. That could have been the race right there, because it was those two guys who finished 1-2 in this one. So Christian Master able to hold on and get the win here at Richmond ahead of Luke Rainey, Roger Ray, Nicholas Amadio, John Andrews, Isaac Nichols, Jordan Lopez, Julius Anderson, Ace Garcia, and Joey Hightower with a top 10 here today at the Virginia 65-kilometer race. So, now that the first 4 races are done here for the Haas IndyCar Series, you know what the next month is, and you know what that means. It is the month of May. Indianapolis coming up next for the IndyCar Grand Prix around the road course, and then we're going to be setting up for the main event in the month of May here on Appa Fan. The Indianapolis 250 coming up in about a month here, Memorial Day Saturday, and it is going to be an intense race with these 25 drivers and 8 others. And we'll have sign-ups for those Indianapolis 250 only drivers not too long from now. But it's going to be a fantastic month of May. And the spotlight is going to be on these guys, especially that Saturday morning at the end of the month, where we crown an Indianapolis 250 champion once again. How excited are you for this? Even though you're not in it yet, you might be in an Indianapolis 250 ride, but how do you think these guys are going to handle the next month? It's going to be big for these guys coming into Indianapolis.
Oh, they're going to be preparing for the whole month of May. It's one of the biggest events of the year, one of the biggest ones on the NRLOA channel, no less. And I believe correctly that if you do win the Indianapolis 250, you get an automatic lock-in to the NRLOA IROC.
Not quite. It's actually winning the IndyCar Championship, but I will say winning the Indianapolis 250 will warrant you a reserve for the next season in the IndyCar series. So you're almost right there. I don't know. I haven't really determined much of IROC this year yet. We'll figure it out once we get there. We might do it. Who knows? It might be the same thing where the Indianapolis 250 champion wins the Haas IndyCar Series championship as well. That's what happened with Luke Rainey last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I am majorly looking forward to the IndyCar Series heading to Indianapolis. It's going to be about 3 weeks from now, I do believe, when we get to the Indianapolis road course race. And, of course, 2 weeks from then, it is going to be the Indianapolis 250. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And congratulations to Christian Master, your winner here at the Richmond International Raceway. So on behalf of Alex Fontenor, thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the point standings after 4 races in the Haas IndyCar Series. And I will see you guys later.